Nice new house, isn't it? Might be your new house. And it's in a beautiful setting, new subdivision, right by a golf course and a pond. It looks terrific. Unfortunately, from that good-looking deck back there, we have this manhole cover. One of the ugly aspects of moving into a new subdivision. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, hiding some of the uglies around your new house. And it's not too difficult to do if you select the right plant. What we're going to use today is ornamental grasses. Ornamental grasses are neat things to use to hide the uglies. They only get a certain height, so you don't have to prune them every year. And there are grasses that get 2 or 3 feet tall or up to 10 or 12 feet tall. So you can use them to hide a variety of things. Maybe those telephone pedestals or that big green box that the electric company likes to put in your front yard. You can even use them to soften the noise of a too noisy air conditioner that's maybe too close to your deck. And they don't take any special planting or care either. Just cut them down once every fall. Once you get them in the ground, they take care of themselves. Grasses, really a good plant to use to hide the uglies. Another great way to hide some of the uglier features around your landscape is to use lattice. You've seen lattice used under decks to hide the fact that there's bare soil or gravel underneath them. Today we're going to show you a way to hide your air conditioning units from the view from the front of the house. Every house needs air conditioners, but we don't necessarily want to see them. We will have to get to them someday in order to work on them if they ever malfunction. And in order to do that, we want to make this almost temporary. So we're not setting our posts in concrete, we're setting them in bare soil. But we need it to set firmly. And a good way to compact the soil is to use a framing hammer and pound the heck out of the dirt. It's a great way to firm up the soil. Don't neglect the fact that your post needs to be perfectly vertical, both left to right and front to back. If it's not, just in soil, you can move it a little bit and then firm the soil up. I've marked this lattice with a pencil where I want to cut it, and I've tried to avoid going right through the staples. Remember, lattice is stapled together, so I'd recommend you use a carbide-tipped blade, and you can cut right through the staples. Another thing about cutting lattice, you want to make sure that you use a couple of 2x4s under it to hold it nice and firm and level. And of course, I'm using metal sawhorses, so we need to raise it up off the sawhorses to avoid damaging our saw. Now we've cut a piece already, and we're ready to mount it over here. Remember, we're using wood screws so we can disassemble this entire unit, just in case we have to get in here and service the equipment. I've cut this lattice in such a way that I leave a 6-inch space between the bottom of the lattice and the soil. And the reason I did that is so we can string trim this grass off, make mowing easier. If you wanted to grow vines on this, it'd be a great place to do it, but you'd want to move the lattice out at least 2 feet. You need 2 feet of clear airspace around an air conditioner or a heat pump in order not to impede the operation of the equipment. It's a good idea, though, to grow a vine on it. Planting some ornamental grasses or other plants or putting up a little bit of lattice work, sometimes we find that the best way to enhance the good looks of the great outdoors is simply by hiding the uglies.